It's hard for people, and then there's a lot of people that think you just fake it until you make it. And then you hear stories. Oh, this guy, I had $500 in my bank account, but I told them I got this, I got that loan, and next thing you know, my business is making all this money. And you go, wow, he faked it until he made it, and it worked. And you think it's gonna work, it doesn't work most of the time.
So few and far between. Then they never tell you that guy goes to jail later for fraud.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
Yo, the feds busted my house 3 years later and took everything. You're like, yo, okay.
Exactly. Like when they arrested Carlos Mencia recently for like all his counts of tax fraud.
That's not a job. Like YouTubers don't even make money. How are you going to make money? You're going to be homeless.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny to see how it changes.
Well, the same thing with podcasts.
True.
Back then, I would tell people I'm doing a podcast, and they would be sad. Like, oh, poor guy. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Used to be on TV. You're like, oh, I'm having fun.
You've fallen from grace. And it's so interesting, too, to see, like, you know, as like YouTubers and stuff first started getting big, like, they all use it as launch pads to jump to Hollywood. And then it's like the ones like me who are just like, who really cares? You know, like, just stay over here and focus on YouTube are the ones that are the biggest and, like, just believed in the future.
Like, they write you another one. I'm like, are you insane? Like, like he's the craziest person. But
he's fun.
I've had some great conversations on the phone with him, and he's just, and I was
very fucking smart dude.
I was
very smart
honored
dude
when he called me to do the his last, the Endless.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's cool, because that's where that's a pivoting point, a major point in my career when I did.
This is not happening. Yeah, that was a great show, man.
That's a funny one,
dude.
That one made me fucking laugh.
Stavros is very funny.
He's from Baltimore, and he does a Baltimore Ravens fan after every win or loss during the season. Like, you have to fucking see it because it's fucking hilarious.
Very funny dude.
Yeah, man. I like this.
It's a good time for comedy because this is like pushback.
Yeah.
You know, when there's pushback, then people get excited when someone doesn't give into it. And they make their own shit. But if you want to try to make a comedy movie with a studio, you have to deal with so many people telling you what you can and can't say. You're way better off just doing it on your own. Like, they don't really know what funny is. They're trying to protect their job. They have a Mercedes.
Man, they were cranking them out for a while.
We lost 1-0 to Arsenal, but it was the most amazing experience for everybody. So look, I'm not doing this because I want necessarily to be doing it. I'm doing it because somebody's got to do it. And if we're going to change Britain, we've got to get the public to buy into what we're doing. And as I say, I'm not a classic politician. I'm not saying you've got to vote for me. I'm saying that we've got to change Britain by 29, or I think the country, from what I can see, is in terminal decline. So I sit on the Public Accounts Committee. I see the waste.
That's insane. That lady's a wizard.
That lady is what I want to do with my life. That is what great physics looks like. It's totally irresponsible. And, you know, Pat Sajak is like trying to ask her, like, how'd you do that? And she says, well, I had a good feeling about this, you know. And the funny part about it is you can figure it out. If you go back, Jamie, can you show the board right there? Yeah. So clearly that apostrophe is a huge clue, right? So the idea is that if you read that property, is it aisle?
So the budget was
Obsession.
$1.5 million back then.
Yeah, in 1988.
Wow. So was this a small release?
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, who made this movie? What was the company that made New World Pictures? That's a big company. Maybe they sold it to New World. I don't know how that shit works.
Was this before or after They Live?
Well, They Live was good.
They Live
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they bankrolled it.
But I bet if you tried to watch, Return to Frogtown was released on 93.
He wasn't in
direct
that,
to
though.
VHS, bro. Before even DVD, they're like, no, fuck this. Straight,
Put it on tape.
straight to tape.
Now listen, everybody, don't go watching this and cursing me.
They lost 70% of all their restaurants in Los Angeles. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, a great place to live, California, though.
What's that?
It's a great place to live, California.
Beautiful. That's why people still tolerate it. I mean, if California had the weather of Seattle, it would be empty.
It would, yes.
You know what I mean? It's like the reason why people are still there is because, God, it's so amazing. And there's so many cool people there, and it's so nice, and the weather's incredible, and the views. And you could be at the ocean, and then 2 hours later, you're in the mountains. I mean, it's an amazing place.
It's an amazing place. I went
Filled
there.
with dumbasses.
Yeah, it was socialist, Joe. Unfortunately, it's been permeated to socialism.
And then all of a sudden, but then you've got this pill that's fucking with their hormones that we found out now that women that have been on it for a long periods of time, they make poor choices in terms of mates. And It does a lot of weird stuff. I mean, when
We're
you're tricking
learning
your
a
body.
lot of weird stuff. I
Yeah,
agree with
and
you.
also it's very dangerous for them. A friend of mine, his daughter died. She was 17 years old. She was on the birth control pill, and she was smoking cigarettes. And she, I guess, smoking cigarettes and birth control pills for some people can cause blood clots. I don't understand why or what, but that is an issue, right? You're not supposed to smoke if you're on birth control. See if that's still the recommendation.
Yeah.
He's like, it's insane. That's what Nick Shirley found in Minnesota when he went to investigate the daycares, and also found in California with hospice care centers. There's entire motels where every room was supposed to be an office for some fucking nonprofit, and they're all just siphoning money.
So
it's madness.
So that's what it makes
Money.
regular people like me like, what's the answer? It's
I
like,
know.
what's the point to all this?
Aliens. They
Meanwhile,
have to land.
I'm paying out my ass in taxes for shit like this,
Yeah.
or for war. It's like,
yeah, all of it's gross.
yeah,
Every single, Hendrix, Joplin, and Morrison all died at 27.
Wow.
And who else? Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse.
At 27?
Yeah, it's all 27.
didn't know
27 is the magic number for insanely talented people to die young. Yeah. Very weird. You've had an incredible life, man.
I've been blessed. I've been really blessed. First of all, the fact that I'm still here at 81, considering some of my excesses in the past, is miraculous. It truly is. I started smoking when I was 13.
Whoa.
I forgot who sponsored this weed, but it was incredible, right? So I'm in here and I'm cracking jokes. Bill is right there, and then Mark is over by the side of the door, and I'm cracking jokes with Bill and everything. And I felt something. Nobody was really laughing at my jokes, right? Then all of a sudden, a whole fucking argument popped off, and it was white argument because it was so nice. They were so gentlemen to each other. It was a whole bunch of, oh yeah, but you'll never do my podcast. It was like podcast beefs. I'm right in the middle. I didn't even know that they had beef like this, but they were so gentle about it. But I tell you the difference between white beef and black beef.
I'm just having fun here.
Oh, so because the lobster is already weird, and then the space lobster is an extra weird.
Yeah, because the tart is basically the harness, but you cannot call it TARDIS, so we call it Claudis. So that was name number 2.
Yeah.
And then it never really rolled off the tongue. So when more people came, again, I talked with my agent, Claude. At least that's what I used to call him now.
Claude spelled with a W, CLAWD.
Yeah.
Versus CLAUDE from Anthropic.
Seems like, in my mind, it seems like we're like 24 months away from something really insane. I think
could be 48 months. It could be. I mean, we don't. Yeah,
right. It could be. Yeah, who knows? But there's something happening really quickly. When I talked to Elon about Grok, he said it shocks us like every couple weeks. That we're like, how is it doing this? How is it so fast? How is it advancing so quickly? And one day, cat's gonna be out of the bag, and there's not gonna be any way to stop it. Joking around with me, like trying to scare me, and then and it felt to me after they did it like, relax, like this is okay, like don't be freaked out. Whatever this is, don't be freaked out. And then I woke up, and when I woke, and then there was also this weird reptilian element of it. There was like a barrier. They had a barrier, and they were feeding they were like pouring food to these things that almost like was letting me know the protection between you and this horrific danger that's out there in the world, in the universe, in life it's very thin. There's very thin protection. There's not much protection. Wow, you have that many coyotes out there?
Oh, they are invading our property right now. It's been, the last few weeks have been really rough.
Well, once they know that there's food there.
Yeah. Once they taste the blood, they come back every night.
Yeah, I lost all my chickens in California.
Yeah.
We lost a couple of them every now and then. I had a dog. His name is Johnny Cash, and he was a Mastiff. And he was a sweetheart of a dog, but he was huge. He was like 140 pounds, solid muscle. And these coyotes made friends with him.
seriously, your head is in a different time frame than your feet right now.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and I mean, it's measurable. You need extremely accurate clocks. But in the case of the GPS satellites are in what we call a medium orbit. They're not as far away as the geostationary satellites, but they're not actually going that fast. They're only going about 9,000 miles an hour around the Earth. The astronauts in the space station, by the way, are going much faster. They're going more, let's say, approximately 20,000 miles an hour. So the GPS satellites are going a little slower. And yeah, okay, 8,000 miles an hour is a lot.
Wow.
All right, let's
that's your guess.
Throw that in perplexity.
Yeah, so I was guessing. I didn't want to look.
Throw that sucker in perplexity. What did I say? 500,000? Yeah. Top 1% of the U.S. 700,000.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're the closest.
700 to 800,000 or more, depending on the data source and year. That's pretty crazy. So for the United States, $730,000 to $790,000 per year, most analysis, and then for the rest of the world, 34,000.
There was a previous generation and two brothers, and both the brothers had a bunch of kids, and those kids were warring to get the next in line, and that ended up being like a massive war, and a bunch of other allies fought on each sides, and so many amazing weapons were used as part of the war, and a lot of these weapons are like extremely like described an extreme level of detail that is pretty incredible. Like there's a lot of detail around like targeted weapons, so you could precisely identify a target and just shoot at that. And then
does it explain like what the weapon is?
And there's nothing I can give.
No, but would you? I find this funny. I heard someone ask a question like this the other day. They said like, would you give your entire available net worth to be 33?
Yeah, I think everyone says yes. I mean, how did one get a net worth? By work and luck and creativity, all those good things.
If you were 33 now in this moment in time, and your objective was, and this is a bit of a crass objective, but I'm going to, it sounds like it's a very one-dimensional objective, but if your objective was just to become rich now at 33, what strategy would you deploy?